Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to ask an interesting question I don't see asked very often. What is your favorite odd-numbered Star Trek movie? Because Star Trek has this reputation of the even-number movies being the good ones and the odd-number movies being the bad ones oftentimes, I think it's interesting to ask, of all of the odd-numbered movies, which one is your favorite? Mine is, of course, The Search for Spock. I love Star Trek 3. It is one of my favorite sci-fi movies. It's really good, and it does tend to have the reputation as the odd-numbered movie that bucks the trend. Although if we include the Abrams movies, I do think the first Abrams Trek is really good. I'm not a big fan of Into Darkness. The first half of it's okay, the second half's not. Too much of a Wrath of Khan retread. And Beyond I've only watched once. I really need to give it a rewatch. But I like the first J.J. Abrams movie. Especially of the Prime ones, 3 to me really is the one that bucks the trend. I think it's really good. Aside from some pacing issues, it does drag a little in places. I think it's a really good outing. It has literally my favorite scene of any movie I've ever seen. My favorite movie scene of all time, which is, of course, is when they steal the Enterprise. I love that scene. It's well shot, it's well acted, and James Horner's music is probably one of my favorite pieces of instrumental music I've ever heard. I love the soundtracks to Star Trek 2, 3, and 4 with James Horner doing the music for 2 and 3, but I love the music for 4 a lot too. And these movies do kind of act as a trilogy. But I just love James Horner's music here in the Stealing the Enterprise scene. Another one of my top 10 probably favorite movie scenes is the confrontation between the Enterprise and the Bird of Prey, which results in the destruction of the Enterprise. The music there is really good too, especially as the two ships are approaching each other and it's building, and then the way it builds that crescendo when they're actually exchanging fire. That piece of music is wonderful. And again, William Shatner's in really fine form. Some of the best acting I've ever seen William Shatner do is in Star Trek 2, 3, and 4. He is just so good in this movie. The scene right there when David gets killed and he backs up and he misses the chair when he goes to sit down and misses his chair and hits the ground because he's so just shocked and stunned. And that bit when he's saying, you killed my son, you Klingon. Oh, that's some really good acting. I really like some of the humor mixed up in it's fun. Nice of you to tell me in advance. That's what you get for missing staff meetings. How many fingers am I holding up? That's not very damn funny. It does have some little humorous beats in it. And now, Mr. Scott. Sir? The door's Mr. Scott. Hi, sir. I'm working on it. It has those little moments. Watching McCoy try to do the nerve pinch on the security guard and it not working. It has those little humorous moments. I really like the way the battle damage is done on the Enterprise. It really looks beat up. There's also the whole neat thing about, I think, especially at the time, for people wondering whether Leonard Nimoy was going to come back or not. Because in the opening credits, he's only listed under the directed by thing. He's not credited as starring in the movie. So you don't actually know what's going on and whether or not he's going to come back. It's only at the end when you see him. And it's a great reveal when you see him walk past with the hood up and he turns around and actually lowers the hood and boom, there's Spock back from the dead. It's awesome. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who were upset about Spock dying 2 years earlier in Wrath of Khan who fist punched the air in theaters. That must have been a fantastic moment. I didn't see 3 in theater to my knowledge. Matter of fact, the very first movie I have memory of seeing in theater was 4 actually. And I love 4. But that had to be a great moment. I love the scene about Jim. Your name is Jim. Yes. That's a very touching moment between them. It's a good movie. I really like it. I think Christopher Lloyd is fantastic as Commander Krug or whatever his name is. I really like him. It's like, keep in mind that Star Trek 3 came out a year before Back to the Future. So it's like, why did they cast Doc Brown as the Klingon? Well, this happened before that. I came out the year before. I think he's great in it. He's menacing. I like him better than I do Christopher Plummer's Chang even. Because Krug, he is a Klingon. He thinks like a Klingon. He acts like a Klingon. And I love that. And Chang does too. But just something about the way Christopher Lloyd plays that part. I even like when he mocks him. Give me a minute to inform my crew. I give 2 minutes for you and your gallant crew, because that's the same thing Kirk had given him originally. You have 2 minutes or we will destroy you. It's like he's throwing that back at his face. I like that. That's subtle. I can see how somebody wouldn't pick up on that. The way he plays that part is just perfect to me. I absolutely love it. Plus, this is the first movie I actually remember seeing that style of bird of prey, which we would see later in Next Generation and Deep Space Nine and the other movies. And I really like that style of the Klingon bird of prey. I absolutely love that ship. So it's my favorite Klingon ship. So I really like that as well. It's just, I love 3. Aside from some pacing issues, it's really good. It's a lot of fun. It's a nice adventure. It's dark. I mean, the scene when the Enterprise gets destroyed is, you know, I think it's the only time the death of the Enterprise has really been impactful, because I didn't care when the D died, because I hate the D. Not so much now, it's just kind of now, but I used to really hate the D. I'm the one when the D originally blew up, I'm fist punching the air, because I never liked that ship. I always thought it was a pansy ship. Just didn't look like a battleship, which it isn't, but it didn't look like one. I always thought the Constitution would look cooler, because it just looked like it could go somewhere and kick ass. Again, looking at it from a child's point of view. But yeah, when this one was destroyed, I mean, it was truly heartbreaking, because the original Enterprise felt like basically part of the crew, you know, part of the cast. So when it was destroyed, and we didn't know, you know, they didn't know at the time. Well, we'll just stick another letter on there, you know. No, the Enterprise was dead, and watching it burn up. Yeah, that was a really well filmed, well done sequence. And the one time I think the death of the Enterprise has truly been moving, so to speak. Yeah, I love Star Trek 3. Soundtrack, great directing. Leonard Nimoy was a fantastic director. I really enjoy it. So I'd like to know, what is your favorite odd-numbered Trek movie and why? So comment down below and let me know. And let me know what you think of Star Trek 3 as well. Other things to do: click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. I also have a Patreon. If you would like to contribute to what I do, there is a link to that down in the description below. I want to give a shout out to 2 of my top tier patrons, the 5th Doctor and Stephen Crane. I appreciate their continued support. If you would like to send me anything Star Trek related or sci-fi related or otherwise, anything you would like me to watch and review, I have a P.O. box down in the description below. A link to my Amazon wish list is there as well. Most importantly though, thank you for watching.